Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stay on the Line, a horror genre podcast hosted and created by me, Terrah Card, and every week we talk about something horror genre related. We are welcome back with author, creator of cool things, and the Pick It Apart podcast, which will be coming out in October. Well, whenever you're listening to this, it could be October 2050 for all we know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, please welcome back Kelli Green.
Hi.
Kelli Green, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Don't act up.
Oh,
Don't act up
spray
because
me.
I will spray you again.
I'm not a cat.
What have you been up to, hunty?
I've been just doing things. It was my birthday week, so I had a lot of
Your birthday week?
a couple weeks
That
ago.
was like 2 weeks
It
ago,
was?
girl.
I don't remember what I did last week then.
Every single episode you've been on for the past few weeks, you're like, it's my birthday. This bitch is lying.
Okay, so scratch that. It wasn't my birthday week. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I went back to work. And then I've been working on my podcast, and I've been just doing stuff. I'm trying to plan a trip to Tennessee, so that's exciting.
Okay. But you're not looking at $1,000 tickets like you were before, right?
No, I figured it out.
Kelli was looking at round trip tickets in September, October, November, and they were like $1,000. I was like, girl, what?
I thought I was gonna have to eat like ramen for a
Girl, no. When I flew to Chicago round trip, it was like $300.
Yep, that was closer to what I ended up finding. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
You said I just hit first class, so and then I wanted extra security with my things, so
I need someone to watch my bag. I'm not just anybody.
Okay, work. We have been reading the
Black Phone.
The Black Phone stories, formerly titled as the. It says originally published as the 20th Century Ghost. Didn't know that when I bought it. So yeah, I got literally one story left. Kelly's got some to go over. So
I'm not a fast reader.
You're also just very busy.
Well, yeah.
And I literally do nothing.
But you go to work too, so
Okay.
I guess I could be faster.
But you go to work for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, you don't.
No.
Oh,
Dude.
I just assumed that your day was like 8 hours, and then you do drag, and you have to sew, and so I figured you were like just as busy or busier.
No, I'm a loser.
Well, I mean, me too.
Yeah, I don't want to see.
Oh, okay, well.
Because, Queen, when you start putting that into the air, I got a little flustered earlier because I was like, oh my god, Kelli, let's take a cute photo with my Polaroid camera. And it is a cute photo.
Yay!
There you go. It's a cute photo. But it got stuck in the Polaroid. And if that ever happens to you, if you're looking up how to fix Polaroids, make sure you play this podcast right now. Just change the batteries. Don't yank it out. Just change the batteries. Apparently that fixes it.
Yeah, it worked.
All right, Kelli, why are you here?
I'm here because we watched a movie called Triangle, and we're going to talk about it.
Yep, came out in 2009.
Yes.
And what is it about?
So, 5 friends, I wouldn't call them friends, but 5 friends set sail.
People who know each other.
5? Yes.
They don't even know each other.
5 barely acquaintances set sail, and their yacht is overturned by a strange and sudden storm. A mysterious ship arrives to rescue them, and what happens next cannot be explained.
Who is in this cast, Kelli?
So, this cast includes...
you want to read the cast list?
Yeah.
You're like, it includes so many people and faces and places and Pizcom and Squirt and shit, everything.
Oh, no. Oh, my. Melissa George, Joshua McIver, Jack Taylor, Michael Dorman. I'm trying to get to the names. I don't know. Henry Nixon, Raphael Carpini. No, that's Rachel, not Raphael.
Wait, where did the F get in there? When did the F get in there?
I don't know.
Rachel
Carpani, Emma Lung, and Liam Hemsworth.
Liam Hemsworth is not the main actor in this movie, which is kind of weird to think about because nowadays he would probably be
top billing,
top role, but he's kind of like a nobody character who doesn't wear socks or shoes the whole movie.
Yeah, he doesn't, but he's got a hot bald head, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, something. Just a nice head to be impaled later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Yeah, it was. And to figure out how it happened.
So this movie, is about people who are on a cruise boat and a sailboat, and then that turns over, and then 5 of them. There is 6.
There were 6 people,
and I'm kind of gagged that it was just 5 because I was like, oh damn. Okay. If you want to watch this movie, it is available on Shudder or for free on Tubi. So, yeah, that's where you can watch it. Now, Kelly, we're about to spoil this movie.
Yes.
And I do have a few questions here for you.
Okay.
What do you think about this overall plot of this movie?
The overall plot...
So we're going into spoilers, so now you can say whatever the fuck you want.
The overall plot where she is meeting herself and seeing herself do things over and over again and seeing the people she came with die over and over again, I think is really interesting and cool, and it presented a lot to work with.
Like Groundhog's Day?
Yeah, like a Groundhog's Day type idea, except where the bodies collect. Because usually in a Groundhog's Day, Happy Death Day scenario, everything restarts, boom, it's new. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was cool that in this scenario, everything happens again, but you could actually see the collection of like bodies and stuff and be like, yeah, we killed him 7 times. What I will say is I wish that there were like some different kills going on to like spice it up. Be like, oh, we did this differently, but it still ended the same. But, yeah.
Well, so if you did not watch the movie, what happens is there's 6 of them that go onto this sailboat. And when it gets capsized, we meet a character. Her name is Heather. Mm-hmm. And the moment we meet her, I said to Kelly, she is the first one that's going to die. And I didn't think that was really going to happen because when they get capsized, she just, like, goes away. And we don't see her ever again. Yeah, Heather's not in this movie anymore. Gone. It is Sally, Greg, Victor, Jess, and husband.
Yes.
Husband of Sally. Which, Sally has this weird obsession with Greg. They used to date in 8th grade, and they're like full grown adults. So what do we think about, what was that?
Sally is weird, and I guess... so the way I see it, they used to date in 8th grade. They grew up, she got married, she has a life. And I think she, like, loves her husband or whatever. But I guess she thinks Greg is hot, and she's just got this whole little back of her head, what if, what could it have been? Because she's apparently constantly trying to set him up with girls. And I feel like she just wants to vicariously screw him at least once. So she has to have a girl.
Well, even the husband she was like, oh, I just threw this outfit on. And the husband was like, no, she like planned to wear this outfit for this.
So she wants to impress him. It's weird. I can't really understand why. Like, we don't get time to dig into that. And she does seem like she kind of likes her husband. Like, she doesn't seem to not like him. But they're
not really affectionate in this movie.
But when he's like dying, she's sad. I guess that's not the top tier affection that you could have.
When he's dying, she's sad. Retweeted. You agree. When we see Jess, she's like getting her child. Mm-hmm. She's getting her child, and she's grabbing him, and they just drive away. But then she's at this sail thing, dock. That's what they're called. She's at a dock where Greg and all of them are at, and she looks distraught, and he's like, hey, where's Tommy, your kid? And she's like, oh, well, he's in school. And then what's the other guy's name?
Liam. Whoa.
Victor. Liam. We're going to call him Liam. Yeah. Victor, Liam, same person. Yeah. He's like, why would they be in school on a Saturday? We also get the R word dropped here because he's special needs, and Sally... Sally calls him the kid the R word.
And she's oddly awful. Like, she gives off this waspy vibe. Like, her outfit, she's got the sweater tied around her neck and everything.
But like, she looks like she would hate crime people.
Yeah, she does. And then with the R word flair going, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She's that kind of person.
Makes me feel like that's not the only slur she throws around in her free time.
Right.
And she gets on the boat, and they go on the boat, and then it crashes, and then... Oh, a cool thing is we hear, like, a radio distress.
Yes.
Everything in this movie... Okay.
Full circle.
Everything ties in with it. I won't say everything makes sense, because it does not. No. But everything ties in. So, like, Jess has a bad dream. Mm-hmm. And she sees herself, like, on a beach, like, washed up bitch. And she, has that dream. And I was like, that's probably going to be the end of the movie or something like that. And then a storm is coming to their sailboat.
a very odd storm. It's a collection of clouds and a water spout, and it's green and gray and just
green? Where did you see a water spout that was green?
It was green. It looked green to me.
You saw water spouts?
No, one, in it.
Oh, I didn't see a water spout. I said to you, did you see that water spout in Destin?
No, in the cloud, it was reaching to the water.
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, when that was happening, they're like, hey, Coast Guard, what's the tea? And then you hear a woman in distress being like, help me, she's killing everyone. Turns out that's Sally on the boat later, because they get across a big ship later, which I love, haunted big ship movies. Or just big ship. Boats need to be utilized more in horror.
But I do want to say, we did notice that when the storm is coming, and they're all just staring at it like weirdos, it's a humongous storm, obviously anyone would be like, we should go away from that.
At least try.
But they just...
how far did they get out? Where were they going?
Right.
It had to be a day trip.
Yeah. And they just, let themselves roll into it. And then went, oh, no. So that's how they capsized, by the way.
What were your overall thoughts on these characters? So
Sally's a hate crimer.
Yes. Okay, we don't like Sally. Her husband, he's literally just a person there. Greg, I feel like, is also just another person there.
He feels like just a person. I feel like we were trying to get love interest vibes and other things, but
he's gone for most of the movie.
I know, but they were it was that could have been.
I know it was supposed to be, but
he was useful. I mean, I have no feelings about him.
I feel like we got to talk more with Victor than we did with Greg.
And I kind of
on the boat.
Victor. I like Victor.
It's just because he's Liam.
Yeah, he's just hot.
He's just Liam Hemsworth.
Otherwise, he would have been kind of useless too.
Oh, sorry.
I will say about Greg, I don't like that he went ahead and so did Sally. They did the whole stereotypical. You know what? Less Sally, mostly Greg. They did the stereotypical scary movie thing where they don't believe anything you say, no matter how weird the stuff is around them.
Because him and Jess, they find a shower running in this. So they get on a boat. They get on a boat. And it's a huge ship, because theirs has capsized. They're on the bottom of the boat. Fucking Heather is gone. And they're like, hey, waving to this CGI boat. They get on the boat, and it's just hallways of rooms and shit, and it looks kind of fancy in there. We see fresh fruit at one point, which turns out later to be spoiled. So you know there's already something weird about this boat. And they go into a room where they hear shower running, and it's go to the theater, written in blood. And he's like, I guess we need to go to the theater. But she's like, bitch, did you not just see that was written in blood? Is there any issue?
And he's like, talking crazy.
Yeah. Oh God, now you sound like Nick Cage in fucking Colorado Space. You're talking crazy, you dumb bitch.
I hate this. But yeah, he's just gaslighting her and telling her she's talking crazy. I'm sorry.
She's got COVID.
No.
You have to leave.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh, did you just dab? I'm a lady.
I'm sorry. But no, he's gaslighting her and telling her everything she says is crazy, even though also some keys dropped. And they were her keys.
I love that too, because they're walking around, they hear something drop, and they go over, and Miss Thing is those are my keys, I lost them in the ship. But if you think about it, because that's her from earlier, she gets those keys that were dropped. So how did the keys get on the boat?
Right, when did they get on the boat?
When did they get on the boat? Because at one point...
That's a goof.
Some things kind of don't add up, especially when Greg gets shot. When Greg gets shot, they're like... He said that you shot him. I'm like, when?
Nothing. He got shot and fell from a 2-story floor. He didn't say anything.
He didn't say nothing because he got shot in the chest, baby.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He said it was you.
Yeah. Oh, and tell us, because when they're walking around, they discover kind of little memorabilia of something Greek-related.
Okay, so, there is this story, and it's about this guy named Aeolus, and basically he made a deal with...
Because the ship is called the Aeolus.
The Aeolus is the ship. And so it has, you know how in some places, buildings, ships, whatever, they have, a little area dedicated to what it's all about. Well, so they talk about how it's called the Aeolus, and they start talking about the story of it, where this guy makes a deal with death, but he backs out of it. So to be punished, he has to roll a boulder up a hill, but the boulder will always roll back down, so he's always forced to redo the same thing every day, which of course then bleeds into where we are now. She is doing the same thing repeatedly trying to figure out a way out of it, but there is no way out of it.
Hard-hitting question here. If you had a boat or something like that in your home, memorabilia shrine, what's on that shelf? To be like, this is to get to know the Kelli Green experience.
What kind of memorabilia do I have?
Yeah, what do you have on your shelf? So if a stranger comes in with 4 other people and, their boat just crashed, what are they going to read about Kelli Green?
They'd probably read something like...
She's the queen of digestion.
No, they won't read that. You know what? That would let you know about me, to be honest. I have so many freaking stomach issues, it's not funny. But I was going to say something more glamorous, like an old Hollywood. I have this book of old... No, it's not old. It's a book of movies, and it's like 100 years of film in my house. And I feel like that would be the book where they'd be like, who is this girl? She likes this stuff.
It would be Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yes!
Even though that's not your favorite movie.
It's not my favorite. It's one of my favorites.
But she always wants me to watch that.
It's a bonding experience.
She's into BDSM. What would be on mine would probably be like... Nothing interesting. A sewing machine.
A sewing machine?
It's going to be like, an old woman used to live here. It's going to be a sewing machine and a Polaroid camera so they can get haunted taking photos. So Yep, I'm pretty boring. But yeah, anyways, Greg is a nothing character. Yeah, Victor
Greg is nothing.
Is a himbo.
Yeah.
Victor is a himbo.
Yeah.
Heather, poor Heather, her last line was literally like, I'm not even interested in you.
And then whoop.
And then she gets sucked out. Now, okay, how do we feel about Jess as a character? At first, Jess as a character, I was like, she's kind of weird. I don't know what the tea is. And then she was like fighting back against this quote-unquote masked person, which turns out to be herself.
So, yeah, I went through 3 stages of Jess. I went
the grief. 3 stages of grief.
The 3 stages of grief. The first, like you said, I was like, I can't pick up on her. I don't know what her vibe is. I don't know what she's got going on. But then I was like, oh, she's a badass. She's going to figure this out.
Yeah, like she gets shot like near the head and she's like fighting back.
She's like, I can do this. And I'm like, she's making choices I wouldn't pick. But I'm still like, okay, Jess, I see you, girl. But then we go back words and see Jess as a mom, and this whole time she's like, I gotta fight to get back to my son. I gotta see my baby.
I'm fighting for my life.
Yep. At one point when she kills someone, she's like, I'm sorry, I love my son. And I'm just like, okay, we gotta get back to our baby. But we see her that day, so we see her and the events that happened that morning through.
Which, small things are happening. Like, in the beginning of the movie, we hear a doorbell ring, and then she goes to answer the door, but nobody's there. And then we're slowly seeing when she gets off of the boat, eventually, she is the person who rang the doorbell, because now there's 2 Jess in this area timeline.
And so Boat Jess, who is kind of the Jess we've been getting to know this whole time, is looking in. And first she sees her little boy painting, and she's happy. She's like, oh, look at him, so cute. And then she sees
House Jess,
who's
like, you fucking ugly ass bitch.
Right? She's
yelling
going
at her
off
kid.
on her kid.
Yeah.
She's like, you fucking suck. You're so stupid. I hate you. And then she's like, why would you make a mess? You want me to clean up the mess? She slaps him. And
he makes the mess because he's gagged and sees her outside too.
And he's like, what?
And then knocks over the paint.
And then she loses her fucking mind. And she's like, I can't believe you would do this. And slaps him. And then she's like, you're just like your bitch ass daddy.
Yeah.
He was nothing too. And so this Jess is like having a moment.
Boat Jess is looking in like,
oh
my god, let me get, what was it, like a
sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer.
And she was like, you know what, I'm gonna kill this bitch.
She kills herself, which sounds crazy out of context, like hits herself up and puts her body in the bag, and that's like the beginning of the movie, which we saw in the beginning of the movie. She's just putting like fabric on a suitcase. I'm like, yep, that's how you pack it. You pack a suitcase. She's just literally like pressing random clothes in, not folded up or nothing.
Nope. But now we know she was covering up a body,
which was her body.
And she's trying to comfort her son, who I promise you is having the worst morning of his life, because he just got yelled at, he got slapped, he saw his mom kill his mom.
And then she's like, it's all a dream.
And he's like, it's not. Yeah. And so, and then she's like driving and she's trying to comfort him. She's still telling him like, it's nothing. Everything is cool. What you saw was nothing. We're going to have a great time because mommy's different now. Yeah. Mommy's great and mommy will never hurt you.
Is she though? No.
And then he's crying because he's literally having a meltdown. And then she screams a little bit more. I'm still like, ooh, I don't know that you're fakes just because you killed yourself. And then she hits a bird and the bird is bleeding.
Okay, but she doesn't hit just any bird. She hits a seagull. Right? And when
bad luck, you say?
Yeah, killing a seabird is bad luck. And when she picks up the seagull and goes to the pier and kind of throws it over, you see a bunch of dead seagull there. So you kind of realize, oh, this shit's happening again. Yeah, I love that everything just ties in. Even, like, cut back to the beginning of the movie when they first get on the ship and, like, you're kind of not understanding what's happening. They're like, oh, you told us to come to the theater. And she's like, no, I didn't. Or, like, when Victor comes back and he's all bloodied up, and I'm thinking, did he kill somebody? But he goes over and he tries to kill Jess. Mm-hmm. And it's just wild. Like, Jess was, like, talking to him about, like, because this was... Boat Jess has witnessed everything that has happened. She's witnessed everyone die. And then when she witnesses everything, she realizes people yelling, and it's them on the ship coming back, like, it's cycling again. Right. So she sees Victor and talks to him, and... she's like, oh my god, like, this is crazy, like, blah, 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 you have to believe me, because he's not believing her, and she, like, pushes him against the wall, and it, like, stabs him in the back of the head, and he's kind of just wandering around with a hole in his neck, I see.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I will say this is when I get irritated through, like, the third time that this happens. Like, she sees the people come on the boat. They get on the boat before she can stop them. Okay, so I know that we, like, had, like, what would you do? If I am stuck in, like, this Happy Death Day Groundhog scenario, I have never actually seen Groundhog Day, so I can only reference Happy Death Day. But she eventually tries to get somebody to understand what is happening, and she proves it to them that she knows what's happening. And that was what I wanted Jess to do. I wanted her to take someone to the side, or not to the side, come out in front of herself and be like, this is me, this is what's happening. This is me. You know, that's my reflection. But, you know, I wanted her to be like, look, this is messed up. I can show you your bodies if you want. Like, I wanted her to have that moment, and she never did. So it kind of irritated me.
Well, so when she's like, hey, come with me back to the main room to Victor after she has, like, fucked him up, like, oops, sorry, girl. Because I think that one...
She really does.
Okay, but that's like... Okay, that was, like, the second boat just did that. Boat just did that. She gets him at one point to come back to the main hall where New Jess is... And she comes out and points the gun at New Jess, and New Jess is just like, what the fuck? But, like, nothing is really said, and she just runs away.
Yeah.
She's just like, I have to kill you. Which, like, through this whole thing, when she, like, knocks over the masked person, she's like, you have to kill them all to save Tommy. Mm-hmm. But me and Kelly were like, why? Why do you have to kill them?
Why they have to die.
Like, not at all. We're going to go to an ad break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking more about We Are the Girls of Dragometry, Rectangle Girls of the World. We're going to be talking more about Triangle. Why do you think it was called that? Because you're in... Oh, the ship's name is Triangle. But why do you think it was called that?
Triangle. I don't know.
The Bermuda Triangle because they got lost?
Said, that's what I was thinking. It was probably a reference to the Bermuda Triangle. One thing on IMDb said that at any given point, there are 3 Jesses on the boat. So... I was kind of counting. But I think it's more of a cheeky offhand reference to the triangle.
Work.
Welcome back to Stay on the Line. We're talking about Triangle.
That's like my only flaw in this movie. Like, major one is like, but why do they have to... I was hoping that, like, everyone was going to be trying to kill each other, but really it's just trying to kill everyone.
Yeah, and it makes sense. She's even killed her other versions of herself. Like, she's watched herself kill herself. And I'm just like, but I still don't get it. Like, what does this solve? It doesn't seem to solve anything.
One thing I do like is when she finds the, like, where the weapons are, and she, like, is, like, hunched over, and she sees her necklace, like, in the drain, and then her necklace snaps, and sees there's, like, hundreds of like, her necklaces in that drain.
And then don't forget, that's not her name.
Sally
dies in a room, in a dock full of other dead Sallys.
Yeah, because one of the older Jesses has started killing them because she's realizing that, like, things are kind of... The Jess that we've been following has, like, I can change things. I can change things because in this route of things happening, Victor didn't go in and try to kill Jess. Victor, like, was just with her. Mm-hmm. But in this timeline, she's, like, talking with Sally and husband.
Yeah.
And, you know... She says to them, hey, if anyone else comes here, do not trust them, shoot them. And the other Jess comes there, who's trying to kill them, takes them to another room where the shower has been going, in the room 237. I wonder if that number has a meaning.
Yes, The Shining.
That's the same room?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Learn to be yourself. Learn to be yourself. So she takes him in that room, immediately slits husband's throat, stabs Sally, and Sally's running while the Jess that we know has been following her. And I love this. I love when she, when they go outside and she's chasing her, Sally, come back. She turns the corner and Sally is just on this, pier, the poop deck. She's on, the poop deck area. And there's just a bunch of dead Sallys everywhere.
Getting eaten up by pigeons.
Not
seagulls.
pigeons.
Sorry, seagulls. Yeah.
Yes, pigeons. On a boat. That makes sense.
I'm very indoorsy, but I'm learning. Yeah, they're eating at her, and then she's delirious. But that's the one thing. It's still she's like, you're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. I would have been like, bitch, look around. Look around. There's 50 bodies of you just piled up.
Yeah, I was like, how are you not shocked by this?
Yeah.
It was it didn't faze
That
her.
was a cool scene.
It was really
That was a pretty cool scene. And she hears things going over. Mm-hmm. She looks over the edge. And it's the same scene from earlier of her, fighting another... two Jesses fighting down there. Bitch, I'd be... And then you hear, hey! Hey! More... You hear that shit again.
So it's just all happening. Oh my gosh, I just want to say... Because I cracked up both times it happened.
What?
Is when she's fighting with herself.
She's fighting with herself. she
throws the shotgun.
The mask... Excuse me, the masked self throws the fucking shotgun at her and just knocks her ass over.
The boat. And I was just like, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I wanted to ask you, if you were on this ship, what would you do, in this instance?
Well, for one, like I said, once I had done this a second time, maybe a third, because the second time I'm like, what's happening? Once I done it
after you kill everybody.
Yeah, after I kill everyone. The third time, I would be like, no. And then I would just go down in the very beginning when they're all together. I want everyone together, including the other me. And I would reveal myself, because I don't know anymore. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do. Yeah. But I think at the least, I want y'all to see, hey,
bitch, let's start weird. A community here.
Right?
Everybody start fucking everybody.
Jess is fucking Jess. No, don't do that.
Whoa.
That's weird. Jess can Sally's. So actually, I don't want Sally anywhere, because Sally's
She's a bitch.
Sally, we
put her on the poop deck.
All Sally's go to the poop
getting
deck.
Shitting on by seagulls. It was covered in shit everywhere.
Yeah.
So you would just expose yourself?
I would expose myself.
Okay, what's your plan after that?
After that, I would see if we can all try and make a plan to get off this boat.
So you would want to
not kill each other.
You would want to get off the boat with your doppelganger. Well, with your clone of yourself, basically.
Personally, that sounds kind of lit. I always wanted a twin.
Now, the thing is, did she need to kill everybody, or could she have just killed herself?
That's what I was thinking. That's what I thought she was going to do at one point with the shotgun. And then she's like, yeah, let's start shooting people. And I was like, okay. But I feel like she was the problem.
Yeah, she was the problem. I feel she just has this reason to be like, they all can't live. You kill them all to leave or something. She writes a note. But it doesn't make sense to me because, why not?
Right.
Nobody else has the motive to kill anyone except for you.
Right. And honestly, when she goes back and sees herself in the house, if Self hadn't smacked her son and been a whole complete bitch, she probably should have killed herself then, or just left, because there's no telling that to see if the sequence of events started again.
Yeah, she should have just left.
Just been
or just not gone on whatever vacation that they were doing.
Yeah, just don't go.
Yeah. Because they were trying to leave Florida. Mm-hmm. I don't blame them. Well, I would probably... Yeah, exactly. Why do I need to kill anyone? Yeah. Bitch, I would take Liam Hemsworth in the other room. Just...
Oh, my.
If you know what I mean.
Wow.
Just, that's very good. Delicious. Delicious. What's something about the movie you wanted to change or have a different approach? Just
I guess other than revealing themselves... I would want some different kills. I want to see some of them, some different, since there's so many types, I would have wanted to see different things happen to them. Like, oh, let's try this. Mm-hmm. Oh, that didn't work either. Let's try that. I wanted to see some variety.
I wanted to see everyone going crazy. I wanted to see Greg doing, Greg, when he gets on the boat, we get, two scenes with him and then he's dead. We don't see him a lot. Like, I feel like maybe there should have been, I don't know, I want to see Greg going crazy and killing everybody, or Sally, or, you know.
Yeah, like Sally's like, what's going on? And just starts swinging an axe, you know?
Or like Sally kills herself. Like, the only person we see in the same room with everyone else is just Miss Thing, Jess.
Yep. I like that idea.
Do you think you could survive this situation?
Look, it's either yes, I could survive because I would have said, I'm not going on this trip. I feel funny today. Or no.
Because she feels that way when they all get on the boat, which I didn't know boats like that just had a staircase on the side. Yeah. Before she's about to get on, they're like, come on, and she's just staring at them.
This doesn't feel right. So either yes, I'd survive because I wouldn't get on the boat and I just wouldn't do these things, or no, I wouldn't survive because how do you get out of this? I don't know how you get out of this.
Bitch, I'd be fucking Liam Hemsworth in the other room.
Does that get you out of it?
I'm gonna beat this pussy up. That's all that matters. Do I think I would survive this? I mean, I wouldn't be on a boat like that. Yeah. I've been on boats before. I hate it. So I would not be on a boat with people I don't know.
Yeah, I would not go on this boat trip. I wouldn't have gone on the first boat trip with a bunch of people I don't even know.
Yeah. Or that don't even like her.
That don't like me. Exactly.
Period. We need to tell you about what happened a few weeks ago. When you went to the island.
They didn't like me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the crabs. We see crabs in this movie.
The crabs hated me, man.
Yeah. What do you think you got out of... Okay, so let me, like, close up some, like, things. So she gets off the boat because things repeat themselves and she gets knocked off. Like, every time we see her knocking the sack person off the boat. So that sack person washes up on the shore, goes to the home, does the kid thing, whatever, all that. She's driving away after she kills the pigeon and gets in a car accident and dies. That's where they both die, her and her son. And a man comes in a taxi and is like, hey girl, I'm here to pick you up. Your boy's dead. And she's like, wait, I got somewhere to go. And they go to the pier and he's like, hey, do you want to come back? Or like, when will you be back? And she's like, I'll be back. Like, there's obviously the cycle going on. My thing that doesn't make sense to me, right, is if she's supposed to die there, when is she murdered? Like, how is that different from her dying in her home? Because that's when she technically initially dies.
I don't...
So when does this purgatory hell start?
Okay, so I also read something when I was looking up things that...
that Lindsay Lohan was going to be the lead role.
Yes, I did read that.
Yeah.
But
would you have watched that movie?
I'd have given her a try. Sometimes she does really good.
Do you think it would have been good?
It could have.
I think Miss Thing in this leading role did pretty good.
She did really good.
Yeah.
Down. But I think it could have had potential. I'm not going to knock Lindsay. I also read a theory that said that, like, the aceless broke the deal with death. The taxi driver represented death, and because she did not come back to the car like she said she would, that's why she's stuck in this stupid purgatory loop.
Yeah.
So if she had just gotten in the car, she's dead. If she had just gotten in the car and
But like what I mean is she got in that car because she killed herself in the other room. She would not have been leaving, I think.
Oh, so you're saying did she die in a crash or did she die in the house?
Yeah. It seems like her
I think she died in the house.
Killed her.
Yeah, her death. Yes, dead her.
That doesn't make sense, though. No. It doesn't make sense. I like that it loops up. Yeah, okay.
But dead her didn't kill herself in the car. She's just dead because she was in the car, too, and already dead.
She wouldn't have been in that car if she didn't get on this fucking boat. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Oh, so dead... Oh, no. Yeah, I think it's a whole...
Because... her being in that car means that she was on that boat and got back
and kill herself. Yeah, she could have never stuffed herself in the trunk, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't work.
Out of context, this makes no fucking sense.
Who's in the trunk?
Okay, so what do you think, I mean, yeah, what are your analogy of this movie is, or analogy of characters? Because I have my own kind of like theories on characters and such.
I do think that I think the underlining thing of her is like regret, and she knows that she's not been a good mom, and she's like running to save the whole situation, and she literally can't because literally she can't save it,
bruv.
Because I think, even though it doesn't make sense because how did she get on the boat if all this happened, but I think because the last thing she did was be super awful to her child, she wants to save all of that. And that is like the underlining subconscious of it, is that she wishes she was a better mom. That's why everything she says is about him. He's her world. blah, blah, blah. I killed myself to protect him, all that stuff. I think that's her, like, thing.
So, besides her, there's other people in this movie.
Well,
do you think that they all deserve this as well?
Liam, I would say probably not. Sounds like he was on tough times. They said they found him sleeping in on the dock, and now he works there, and he just seems like he's just there.
A himbo.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he deserves
Dumb
to be
hung.
stuck.
Dumb hung.
He doesn't seem like he deserves this. Greg, I can't tell. Like I said, he was kind of a non-character too, but he seemed nice enough. Heather didn't deserve this. Heather had the worst, well, not the worst day, but like the dumbest day. It was like, oh, come on this trip and don't get hit on by this guy I'm trying to hook you up with, and then get sucked through a window. Sally? Absolutely.
Sally, yeah. Yep. Sally and her husband.
I don't care about him, but she deserves this.
So my theory is, I think Heather was the innocent one, and that's why she's not in this situation, right? Yeah. I'm thinking this is some weird purgatory thing, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this ship capsizing and her just being swept out, I think that's supposed to mean something in a way.
Like they took the innocent blood first.
Yeah, the innocent person is out of this hell. Right? So I don't know if maybe she's outliving her life now. Maybe she has survived and she's just out of that situation. Mm-hmm. I think all of them probably represent some sort of guilt or sin that's put them there. But I think Heather is probably like the innocent one. You know, Sally is like a very bitchy kind of person. Her husband's kind of gluttonous. He's eating the food when...
yeah, what if they're all just manifestations of sin in her mind, since this is her hell?
Yeah, probably.
And Sally calling her son the R word is the manifestation of the wrath that she does actually have against her son, even though she doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Like, that's her personification there. And then the innocent was she's free, because that was the last good part of it.
Yeah.
She had. Oh my gosh, I actually love that theory.
What would Greg would be lust, of course.
Lust. He just wants to.
And that doesn't favor them. And my funny thing is, like, Greg finding out, because at the end she's dressed in this jumpsuit and a sack and a shotgun, and he's like, whoa, please don't shoot, and then looks down and sees her wedges that she's been wearing this whole movie. She's been running around this ship with wedges on,
climbing. I love it.
Yeah. What do you think himbo represents?
Is there...
Because, I mean, there's 7 deadly sins.
Stupid isn't a sin. Hold on.
Is stupid a sin? Oh, my God. There's sloth. Well, I mean, he was sleeping on the dock. Oh!
It's sloth!
No, I don't know.
No.
But, I think it has, like, some sort of... Or they at least represent someone who's sinful, I guess. He's the only one that eats the food, right? No,
that's...
husband and Victor. Because Victor eats an apple.
So Glutton ate the apple... The original sin?
Adam and Eve.
The original sin.
Not Adam and Steve.
Oh my gosh.
Gay people.
Oh my gosh.
I think Heather maybe was just the innocent one, and that's why she's not in this situation.
I don't need to be a part of any of this.
Yeah. What was your standout scene or a wow moment in the film?
The dead Sallys.
Drag her.
And it's not because I wanted Sally dead. It was just because I was like, oh my gosh.
I think definitely the first thing was like, when she's out on that dock, because she doesn't see in the beginning who is under that sack. She just knows it's someone and she knocks him over with an axe, right? And then she hears, like, people being like, hey! Because in the beginning, when they're looking at the ship, they see a figure there that walks away, and it turns out it's fucking Jess. So I think that's the first, like, bitch, what the fuck is going on moment. And then the lockets in the drain was a really good one. Yeah. And the turning the corner and seeing all these Sally's bodies while she's, like, crawling away.
Right.
That was a pretty cool
That's
scene.
another thing. That's another thing that irritated me about Jess. So she is the sack man, and she's like, you can't kill him. But she knows from doing this before that she can't understand what she's saying under that sack. So why is she still standing up there going...
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that?
I mean, I heard the Sackman say, like, you have to kill them all. Again, why? And why does she have her mask on at the end when she's just killing Jess? Who do you have to conceal your identity from?
Right? Like, just...
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's just some things I thought about that.
I told Greg, I don't want you to see my face. Why? Because this isn't the real me. Okay, but you clearly are about to kill me, and I already know it's you, so...
Why do you think she, like, willingly gets out of the taxi and does this again?
That, I don't know, because it's very determined. She's like, yes, we will. I'm going to do this. I want to get on the boat. And I'm like...
When she sees Greg, she does say, I'm sorry. And he's like, about what?
And it's like, she's sorry she has to do all this. Like, you don't, though. You could literally get back in that cab.
It's because she's selfish. Is that a sin?
Yes.
Selflessness?
It's like well,
wait, no, that's the opposite.
Is a good one. But it's like selfish or prideful or something like that.
Pride will be your downfall.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So she's yeah, maybe because she's low-key still wants the one chance to go back and see her son again, even though she knows that she's just going to put him to death.
But why do you have to kill them?
I don't know.
Girl.
I don't know. They don't explain that.
I wish everyone was just killing everyone. You know, I did initially say... What did I initially say about this movie? I think I said something... I thought she killed her son in the beginning, and that's why she wasn't at the... Like, she didn't remember where she was when she got to the dock.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that tying in together? How the cycle starts?
I feel like everything but the taxi to the boat. I love the tie-in. But the taxi to the boat now leaves me feeling like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do this to yourself again?
I kind of wish it just ended with her, like...
Looking at herself?
Killing the mother... Or killing herself, yeah, and then, I don't know, something in regards to that. I know that the beginning scene is kind of like the reaction to the child seeing the dead body, but I don't know.
But actually, yeah, no, I would like to end with her killing herself and then comforting the boy, but then that of being the end of the nightmare. But I guess that's not the point. She's going to keep doing the nightmare. But I think it would have been...
Was this based on a book? Because this seems like it was written like a book. How this movie was,
let's see.
Because I can see this being a book. You know, they had the scene that begins and then things tied together and then it loops back to the beginning. Like this is very much like as if an author probably wrote this.
I feel like I didn't see anything when I was trying to research.
Wait, who wrote this and directed this? We didn't even say that. Wow, Kelly, you were in charge of that. Kelly.
This was directed by Christopher Smith. Oh, it's a United Kingdom's film.
United Kingdoms. It was written and directed by Christopher Smith, who also did...
It's not based on a book, though.
Oh, that Creep Train movie. I saw that. I was not a fan of it. It wasn't good. Not to be confused with Creep, the found footage. I don't know these other movies, so this is his best work to my knowledge. It seems like it could have been written like a book.
No, I feel like we hit a lot of the good points. I think... Overall, the use of the boat in itself was great. I think the boat was a great backdrop for this kind of thing.
I love boat horrors like that.
Nice. I don't
Titanic.
think I've ever seen... Oh, well, Poseidon. I didn't see Poseidon Adventure.
Poseidon with Fergie.
I didn't see that one yet. But
we gotta see it.
Okay.
Because I mean, being out in the sea is very scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. You're like in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by water. That water's as deep as the fucking, you know, the Mount Everest, you know, depending on where you are. Mm-hmm. There's sharks in there. Yeah. There's...
Baby, there's a shark in the water.
I hate to do this.
They sprayed me.
And squirting. Yeah, what were you saying about the movie?
Terrah sprayed me and now she wants me to like say things.
Call me your mommy.
I was just saying that...
the ship aspect.
I like the ship aspect of it all. That's all, really.
For a 2009 movie that I've never heard about until like a few months ago, this is
pretty good.
A solid find.
Yeah.
Especially for free on Tubi. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Tubi has some interesting stuff sometimes. But...
Bad Girls Club. I just noticed. I moved a trash bag from this angle and was like, I need to get it out of the frame. So what do? I put it right
in the other angle.
In the other camera. Work. Okay.
You watch it again?
Yeah, I would probably watch this again with like a few friends. Like something to put on. Like, would you recommend it?
Yeah, I would recommend it to somebody that likes thriller, horror, sci-fi and stuff.
Yeah. I just wish more people kind of... I like the playing with... Like, bitch, when me and Kelly were watching this, we were like, I'm very enthused.
What's happening?
Yeah, what is happening? I don't know what's happening, but I love it.
I loved it.
Do you like any of the characters, though? I don't really like any of the characters.
Like I said, for a moment,
except for him,
Oh, he's cute. But for a moment, I thought I liked Jessica, but then I didn't.
Not you using her legal.
I
thought I enjoyed Jessica, but it turns out she was, in fact, a bitch.
So I like Boat Jess. I like Boat Jess because Boat Jess was trying to get stuff done.
Rocked the boat.
And killed bitch Jess.
Mm-hmm. So OG Boat Jess.
OG Boat Jess.
Okay. What was your favorite kill?
My favorite kill
was Liam Hemsworth falling over.
No.
When he gets strangled, when she just pushes him and fingers his hole. She fingers his hole in the back of his head.
I hate it. I do hate that, actually.
It could have had better kills.
Yeah, actually, it could have been.
Where Sally dies is cool, but everyone kind of just gets shot
itself.
or, like, stabbed with a wimpy little knife.
Yeah. And, yeah, no, the kills could have been better, and I was going to say my favorite thing is her getting pushed off the side of the boat with the gun, but, like, that's not a kill.
You mean just, like, off that railing?
Yeah.
And she fell? Yeah.
That's my favorite attack.
Okay, word. Kelly, where can we find you?
You can find me at Kelli Green Ivy on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And you can find my podcast, Pick It Apart. That's PICKITAPART on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple, or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yep, all that stuff will be in the show notes too. And I'm Terrah Card, that's TERRAHCARD. You can find me under most platforms under that name. And if you love this podcast, make sure you rate and review it on probably iTunes. And and Spotify. Spotify does ratings now. Oh, yeah. And if you really love this podcast, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon where you get the video edition of the podcast and some commentary tracks. I'm going to pull up the Gary Busey. Oh, God. Oh, no, let's not look at that. Gary Busey. That sounds horrific.
Something bad's happening.
Yeah, you can join the Patreon, and if you're at the highest tier, which is the $7 tier, the pee poo tier, your name gets read out on the podcast. So shout out to Caitlin B, Willow Whisper, Kiki.com, Keith W, Pobray, Zincat, Coronation, Winnie, and Rebecca Carlson. So if you want to join the podcast nation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and other things like that. Yeah, and you can find this podcast on Twitter at StayOnTheLineTC, but it's really just my Twitter at this point. And on Instagram at Stay on the Line Podcast, and on Facebook at Stay on the Line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any words of wisdom for Kelly, or from Kelly?
Always be yourself.
All right. Do your taxes is my words of wisdom.
Or go to prison with Wesley Snipes.
Your words of wisdom is to go to prison with Wesley Snipes.
I said or go to prison, meaning if you don't do your taxes, you will go to prison with Wesley Snipes. So...
Is he still in prison? I don't think so.
No, not anymore.
No.
Oh, so you won't meet him. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, I'm vegan, so... don't want to meet anybody. All right.
Well, I should be able to spray you.
Bitch, don't threaten me. Don't threaten me, little girl. I'll spray you good. All right. Well, I'm Terrah Card.
And I'm Kelli Green.
And make sure you stay on the line. Bye.
Bye.
Looking for your camera.
Bye.
Bye.